Everyone thinks that genius level thinking is reserved for people with high IQs or fancy degrees. Read more books, do brain training, learn quantum physics. Bro, what? That's not how you think like a genius, that's how you pretend to be smart. But fear not, thinking like a genius is actually stupidly simple. You just need to understand one thing. Geniuses don't have better brains, they have better mental models. Let me explain. When most people face a problem, they try to solve it head on. But geniuses, they flip the problem upside down. Take Einstein, for example. Everyone was trying to understand how gravity works. Einstein asked a different question. What if space itself is bent? Think of it like this. Imagine you're rolling a marble on a flatbed sheet. It goes straight. But if you put a bowling ball in the middle, the sheet bends and the marble curves around it. That's how Einstein thought about planets and gravity, not as some mysterious force, but as objects bending the fabric of space. This completely changed physics, and it came from asking a different question entirely. Okay, but how do I actually do this? First, learn to use inversion. Instead of asking, how do I succeed? Ask, what would guarantee failure? Instead of, how do I get rich? Ask, how would I definitely stay poor? Instead of, how do I build this? Ask, what would make this impossible? See what happened? You just eliminated 90% of possible mistakes before even starting. Second, use first principles thinking. Most people think by analogy. This worked before, so it'll work again. Geniuses break things down to their fundamental truths. Example, everyone thought electric cars had to be ugly and slow because that's how they'd always been. Tesla broke it down to first principles. What's actually needed for a car to move? What's the fundamental purpose for each component? What if we rebuilt everything from scratch? But I'm not building rockets or electric cars. It doesn't matter. You can apply this to anything. Why is this product expensive? What are the basic material or costs? What parts are actually necessary? Like, there's so many ways you can apply it. Third, use mental models from different fields. Most people stay in their lane. Geniuses steal ideas from everywhere. Biology concepts in business, physics principles in relationships, mathematical models and algorithms in decision making. Okay, but give me an actual example. Sure. Want to understand why some businesses succeed and others fail? Study evolution, adaptation to environment, survival of the fittest, random mutations leading to advantages. Suddenly, business makes way more sense. So here's what you actually need to do. Practice inversion. Flip every problem. Break things to first principles. Steal models from other fields and test and reiterate. That's it. That's the whole secret. Let me show you how this actually changes your daily life. At work, most people ask, how do I get this done faster? This just leads to small improvements. Maybe you type faster or take shorter breaks, but ask, what if time wasn't a constraint at all? Now you're thinking completely differently. Could this entire process be automated? Should this even be done by me? Does this need to be done at all? See what happened? Instead of saving 10 minutes, you might eliminate hours of work entirely. In relationships, most people ask, why aren't we getting along? And this just leads to surface level solutions like communicate more or be more patient. But ask, what would make it impossible for any two people to fight? Now you're thinking about what systems create conflicts in the first place. What if we had rules for disagreements? How could we prevent problems before they start? Instead of solving one argument, you're building a foundation that prevents most fights from even happening in the first place. With money, most people ask, how do I save more? And this just leads to cutting small expenses, less coffee, cheaper Netflix plan. But what if you ask, what if money wasn't real? Now you're thinking about what actually creates value, what skills would make money relevant, and instead of how can I own assets instead of just saving cash, instead of saving $100 a month, you might actually create an entirely new income stream. Even something as simple as being stuck in traffic, most people ask, how do I get there faster? And this leads to basic solutions like leaving earlier or finding shortcuts. But what if you ask, what if distance didn't matter? Now you're thinking about, could this meeting be done remotely? Should I live closer to work? Is this commute even necessary? And instead of saving 15 minutes on your commute, you might save 2 hours every day. See what happened? You just went from normal problem solving to genius level thinking without learning a single physics equation. But won't this take practice? Yeah, probably, but you know what else is harder? Trying to solve complex problems with simple thinking. And here's the beautiful part. Once you start thinking this way, you cannot go back. You see connections and solutions that others completely miss. Anyway, today's Genius Transformation session is gonna cost you approximately 1 subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.